Have you ever felt like learning hacking, but you realize that you're just a dopamine addict? So for example, you start reading something or watching a video, but you cannot continue doing that because it's too boring. There's no memes, and you just go on TikTok and scroll for 3 hours. So I'm here to help you today with these 3 simple steps on how to remove your dopamine addiction. So step 1 is to limit yourself on the dopamine you are getting. So first of all, you have to identify your dopamine triggers. Is it social media? Is it gaming? Is it something like that? And after identifying these, I would suggest you to start limiting these to, for example, like 30 to 40 minutes a day. And you have to start just going ahead and learning stuff without thinking about gaming or social media or stuff like that that gives you dopamine. So start by setting a timer for like an hour and just keep on grinding for that hour without any look at your phone, without any game turning on or something like that. Because only when you start just raw dogging the learning process, you will get that break from dopamine, and then your brain will just transform and just become not dopamine addicted. And I would suggest you using tools like app blockers or something like that to reduce your temptation for these quick dopamine hits, and just to block the apps that are giving these dopamine boosts or stuff like that. So yeah, so the first step is limiting yourself on the dopamine triggers. So step 2 is to replace long-term goals with a shorter-term goals that are going to feel rewarding to you. So for example, don't set a goal to pass an OSCP that you're going to only succeed in, for example, a year or something like that. But just do a short-term goals that will grant you the dopamine from hacking and not from other sources like TikTok, and just to make your brain transform itself to not being addicted to dopamine from apps like TikTok, and to just be addicted to hacking. And when you become addicted to hacking, it's easy to do that. It's easy to learn. And just think about what you can do in the short term that is going to grant you this feeling of the success. So for example, completing an easy hack the box without any hints. So it's going to take you around 4 hours if you are not very experienced, but the satisfaction that you are going to receive after completing, let's say, an easy box is going to be a very, very high reward for you, and you're going to feel satisfied with yourself that you achieved this this short-term goal. And it's going to reduce your dopamine hits that you need to receive while hacking. So step 3 is to practice your dopamine detox. So for example, when you are standing in a line, let's say you are at a cafe or a restaurant, and you are standing in a line. What do you do when you stand in that line? You open your phone and you start watching TikTok or watching addictive videos. Don't do that when you are in need of dopamine because you are bored. Start doing stuff like meditating, reading, or just watching a wall or something like that. That is not going to give you any dopamine at all. So while doing that, you are going to reduce the amount of dopamine your brain requires from you, increase your focus and self-discipline. Another thing that I would recommend for you is to, for example, spend an hour a day without using any technologies at all. So only doing stuff like just sitting and writing stuff, or reading a book, because this will make your brain less addicted to dopamine as well. Also, go for a walk, go for a run, go ahead and meditate, because these things really, really do help you remove your dopamine addiction and start creating your mindset for learning hacking. And the last bonus step that I want to talk about is when you feel like you are not addicted to these types of activities anymore, I would suggest you just to delete the application that is giving it to you. So for example, delete TikTok. The way I lost my addiction to dopamine is just by deleting all of the social media apps. Around 3 years ago, I was very, very addicted to stuff like TikTok and these dopamine hits, like I was playing video games all day, every day. So when I realized that I can be spending my time doing something better, like learning coding, at the time I was learning coding, right now I'm learning hacking. So when I realized that I can do something better than just spending my all day on the dopamine addictive applications, I just deleted them. So for example, I deleted TikTok, I deleted Instagram, I deleted all my games. Just in one day, cut off everything. When I did that, it was very hard for me for the first few weeks. But after that, I became neutral. I became like hacking became the new addiction for me. It started giving me more dopamine than TikTok was ever giving me. So I just really, really started enjoying the activities that I do. And because I deleted all of my applications that were giving me that dopamine hit, I replaced my bad habits with good ones and just replaced my bad addiction to dopamine with hacking. So that's it for this video. Bye.